Warning: Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Family, 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 family. S's have been going downhill since they got purchased in 2018, and they've been showing that they've been going downhill since 2018. And I wasn't going to do this originally, but I'm like, you know what? It's time to do it. We're going to do it. Let's just do it.
dancing on the dance floor, showing out in the crowd. Feeling so fancy, got my stinger ready. Watch out, y'all, it's time to get petty. Watch out. Get ready, don't you fret it. Gonna serve it up, nice and sweaty. Keep it funky, keep it steady. Hey, you, it's time to get petty.
What it do, family and friends? Welcome back to the Church of Black Power. Gotta do it. If you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click that link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. And with that being said, family, man, it feels good to be FBA. Be able to call certain things and to say what will go and what won't go and what will work and what won't work. We've been doing this for some time now. Especially when it came along to the Essence Fest. Or what I'm deeming the Essence mess, because it's been a real messy situation for them. It's been a real messy situation, from sponsors pulling out to vendors pulling out to artists pulling out. It's been a situation for them. But my question would be, why? Of course, we in the Black Grassroots, we know the answer here. But we're going to go over them. We're going to go over some things. And maybe, just maybe, somebody from Essence will see this and they will take everything that we say here into account. And maybe next year, it won't be so bad. But I doubt it. Let's start off by, let me give a shout out to everybody in the room real quick. A B1 salute, certified salute. And a shalom to our brother Reparations Nation, our sister Hurricane Nisi in the building. Black are you? Our brother William Aaron, salute and shalom to you, my brother. Brother Reef is in the house. The ears that hears the truth. I ain't seen you in a minute. Much love to you, my sister. Our brother King Gravity is in the house, and he says, do we want the Prince of No Names to give his recap? Hell yeah, that's what I would love that. Shabazz American Freedman's in the building. Salute to you, family. Let's see here. Miss L, shalom and salute to you, family. Thank you for being here. Our sister Stolen Ancestors is in the house. Much love to you, my sister Queen. All right. Our sister Angelic Elena is in the house. Shout out to you, my sister. Let's see here. We got any more that jumped in? Okay. Shout out to everybody who's not in the chat, and shout out to everybody who's going to catch this on the playback, the replay gang. Much love to you all. All right, family, let's start off with this.
We're hearing directly from Essence Fest for the first time since it acknowledged ticket sales are down this year.
Chris Welty uncovers some vendors are also opting out.
Been coming since 2013, every year.
Charles Cohen just arrived from South Carolina with family and friends for Essence Fest. Aside from festivities and music, he's ready to shop.
Purchasing things from local vendors or vendors from outside of New Orleans.
Cohen's friend Gary Scott loves the laissez-faire vibe of the city, but that's not what draws him back.
Actually, I come from the food. The food down here is fantastic. I've never had such quality food in my entire life.
Put a pin in that. We'll get back to that in a minute.
Across the city, Essence Fest signs hang promoting the festival with a rich history in New Orleans.
That people who come here and have a good time then come back. They might come back for just an off weekend sometime in the fall. They may come back for another festival. Essence shows them a very good time, Essence is so well put together by those who are associated with Essence itself, and the city does a great job.
Essence Fest acknowledges ticket sales are down this year, citing a variety of reasons.
But I think there's a lot happening in our world, just in general.
Family, I'm sorry. I gotta apologize. I'm not sorry. Sorry is a sorry word for a sorry person, but I apologize. I just gotta say this. I can't trust a woman with a wig that looks like that. I just can't do it. It's just, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me, but that wig right there just screams dishonesty. That's just me, I guess. I don't know.
That's impacting people deciding to go places or not.
Barkud Tubman Zawalo, Essence Chief Community Officer, says some vendors are also opting out this year. Essence maintains it supports 300 local businesses, and the fest generates a multi-million-dollar economic impact.
And I think we just want to make sure that in spite of what we're all navigating, that people come and have an amazing time, because I think it's interesting times just for all of us right now.
Since releasing the full lineup, Essence says they're seeing strong engagement. Cohen, an Essence Pro, offers this advice for first-timers.
It's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be crowded. So be patient, understanding, and courteous.
Chris Welty, Fox 8 Local First.
As Essence ramps up, organizers along with Louisiana State Police encourage festival goers to designate before you celebrate. Designate a sober driver or use ride shares or taxis to reduce the number of crashes this holiday weekend.
All right, family. God dang. They always try to do that to me. All right, family. So that's that. That was that. And salute to Jim's Eye View. Thank you for being here, family, as well as our family Hula Gang. Thank you for being here, family. So that's that. That was that. The crooked wig set it all off for me. The name, yes, the name as well. However, that crooked wig and the name together, it proved right there all along what's wrong with Essence today. When I was growing up, my mom used to collect the Essence magazines. So I seen a lot of those Essence magazines coming into my house. And I'm going to be honest with you, family. None of those magazines had a crooked looking wig like that. That wig in itself tells you where Essence went downhill. Matter of fact, let me remind you, this was supposed to be a little bit later, but I could play at least, not play one, but I'm going to show at least one. Let's go here. Family, this is what Essence represented. You didn't see no crooked wig wearing person. And if they did have a wig on or a weave or anything like that, it was fried, laid to the side, and sometimes even dyed. It was never this. This woman looks like Sasquatch walked out of the woods. And I'm speaking specifically just on her hair. I'm not even talking about her face, her looks, or nothing like that. I'm talking about the wig in itself. But we'll get back to what Essence actually is right after we talk about what Essence actually isn't. Salute to our family. Star Child, thank you for being here, fam. So, family, apparently, this was the look of Essence. Oh, excuse me. Okay. This was the look of Essence. Got to go to this clip here.
Essence was so empty. I went on the floor because it was so many extra seats. Essence was so empty. I went on the floor because it was so many extra seats.
Family, the brother who said, just be patient, is going to be packed. It's going to be a lot of people. Just be patient. Just be courteous. Just be kind. It looked like you ain't have to worry about all that people, right? It looks like you didn't have to worry all those people. Salute the Star Child. She said, I was subscribed to Essence for years, not anymore. Yeah, and same thing with my mom. My mom was subscribed for years. And I'm going to tell you where it went downhill. All downhill. But this isn't the first time we're talking about the mess known as Essence. Last year, if you remember, we had a little laugh at somebody who was going around saying that Caribbeans created hip hop. It was Caribbeans and Latinos. It was somebody who was going around saying Black Americans more specifically didn't have any culture, and all of our culture was their culture, and all of this nonsense. Salute to Archie Thomas. And that person was your boy Buster Slime. Y'all remember this?
New Orleans, y'all look like y'all tired. You motherfuckers ain't ready. I don't give a fuck how many seats is empty in this bitch. Everybody that's here, get the fuck up. Sir and miss, thank you. Excuse me, brother. Don't start with motherfucking me today. Fuck going on? What the fuck going on? Hey yo, fuck them camera phones too. Let's get back to interacting like humans. Put them weird ass devices down. I ain't from that era. Them shits don't control the soul. Fuck your phone. Excuse me, gentlemen. Thank you very much. I will point every last one of y'all out until y'all asses is up. 33 years of doing this shit, I ain't used to niggas sitting down at my show. I don't give a fuck. All age groups, get your ass up now. I see you, beautiful queen.
Real quick, I'm gonna let this finish playing. But to my sister, Miss L, from what I'm hearing and from what I was getting from some of those vendors, it wasn't the fact that the vendors were being turned away per se. Some of them were. However, there was a situation that we're going to talk about here today that led a lot of vendors to say, hell no, I refuse. We're going to pull out. But we'll talk about that in a bit, just a bit. But I thank you for bringing that up because, yes, I wanted people to understand that there were some vendors being turned away, but also there was vendors who was just saying, no, we're not going to do this. And I want to give a shout out to those vendors. But let's continue this. Oh, also salute to our brother Derek. Thank you for being here, family. And also Contract Preston. Thank you for being here, family. Also, our sister Sharon Thompson. Thank you for being here, family. Buzzer beater on me. All right.
Get up to. Fuck going on? Everybody up top too. Get your big head asses up. Look. The reason why there will be zero tolerance for bullshit energy in here is because this is my first time in New Orleans at the fucking 30-year anniversary of the Essence Festival. This my first time. This my brother.
Family, look at all those empty damn seats. And it seems like those empty seats didn't double since the last one. But let's finish getting through this real quick.
First time, and it's my other brother first time.
That's right.
Make me feel like we home.
Hey, yo, if you want to turn it up, say turn it up. Say turn it up.
That was the lowest level of fan engagement I'd heard in a long time. I had never seen a concert and they said, let me hear you say ho, and about 5 people go ha. Family, the disrespect is what's been driving this whole damn messable down. The Essence mess has been going downhill ever since 2018 when it was purchased by that African dude. We'll get to him in a little bit. But the more and more years that passed by after he purchased Essence and the festival, the more and more disrespect toward Black Americans have been on display. The more and more disrespect towards Black Americans have been on display while using the Essence Festival to do it. We saw this clip of Busta Rhymes last year. What we didn't see, little trivia question for the family in the chat real quick. What was the biggest song of the year last year? What was the #1 song in the country last year? And we all know it. Guarantee. The #1 song in the country. Exactly. Shout out to Miss L. Shout out to Miss L for coming in with the first one. They Not Like Us. Right? And everybody knew who was the they in the situation. Everyone knew. Except apparently Busta. Busta Slime said, you know what? I'm going to do something that's going to not make it on the scene. I'm going to do my own version. And family, that he did. Apparently, we didn't know nothing about it because nobody spoke about it. But let's get into Busta Slime's version of Not Like Us.
At the 30th anniversary of the Essence Festival, our first time here, and thank y'all for making us feel like we belong here and we at home.
Facts, yeah.
But I do want to say this, and I'm going to keep my word. Unless God got another plan. Y'all going to see us again. I promise. One love.
One more time, make some noise for Busta Rhymes!
Yeah. We gon' show nigga I'm black out, it's supposed to feel. I pick up white face off like we're playing soccer. I got dead white, you can call it Cindy Lapper. I hope you don't front, you can meet your baby mother.
Oh, Essence Fest! Busta Rhymes, Split Star Scratch until we love y'all!
We gon' show nigga I'm black out, it's supposed to feel. At the 30th anniversary.
Family. Not only did he do a remix to something that didn't need to be remixed, unless it was by West Coast artists, maybe, hey, some Southern artists, some foundational Black American New York artists. It didn't need to be remixed unless it was by us. This man not only remixed it, but then he started speaking in patois while doing so. We don't run that back. Salute the crew reality. Thank you for being here, my brother.
At the 30th anniversary of the Essence Festival, our first time here, and thank y'all for making us feel like we belong here and we at home.
Facts, yeah.
But I do want to say this, and I'm going to keep my word. Unless God got another plan. Y'all going to see us again. I promise. One love.
One more time, make some noise for Busta Rhymes!
Yeah. We gon' show nigga I'm black out, it's supposed to feel. I pick up white face off like we're playing soccer. I got dead white, you can call it Cindy Lapper. I hope you don't front, you can meet your baby mother.
Oh, Essence Fest! Busta Rhymes, Split Star Scratch until we love y'all!
We gon' show nigga I'm black out, it's supposed to feel. At the 30th
Family, this is the reason why we don't want to hear none of that nonsense, to be honest with you. You can't just go and be creative, create something new. You got to tether on something that was against tethers. What kind of person are you? Busta Slime? Oh, I said it in the second part of your name. You're a slime. You're a slime ball. And salute to our sister, Miss Nisi. To answer your question, I wouldn't know because I didn't go to Essence Fest. I didn't hear anything about any gospel groups there. But I'm sure if KG went, then he can let us know when he comes up. Also, salute to our brother, William Aaron. Thank you for your super chat. Sorry. I'm used to saying Cash App. Thank you for your super chat, brother. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution. He says, thieving mother flopper. Yeah, and the second part is more accurate than the first two. Well, no. The second part is just as accurate as the first two. The thieving mother flopper. Absolutely, family. Patois. He couldn't come with his own stuff. Okay. Not a problem. Not a problem. Salute to Hurricane IQ. Thank you for being here, family. So it's no wonder why Essence has been going downhill with a bunch of stuff like this going on. With a whole lot of nothing. A whole lot of disrespect going on. Right? And so everybody is trying to come out and explain away why the ticket sales were down, why the vendors pulled out, why some sponsors pulled out. But it's nobody saying what the real reason is, unless it's us. Everyone else is making excuses for why they say nobody showed up. And trust me, they got every excuse, from it being a recession to Target being a goddamn sponsor. But no one says exactly what it is unless it's us. Let's get into some of the lies, shall we? This first lady, she want to make it about the age gap. Oh, Essence is over because of the age gap. Don't nobody know about Mary J. Blige or Lauryn Hill. They don't want to see them, according to this lady here. Let's get into it.
Essence is over because the younger generation ain't going out there.
Also, family, I want you to pay attention to this whole situation right here with the caption, Essence is over, or just evolving. I want you to keep evolving in your mind. Put a pin in that, because that's going to be a very important situation to discuss in just a bit. Let's continue.
Essence is over because the younger generation ain't going out there. The younger generation don't remember no Maze and no Busta Rhymes. And they darn sure don't want to see no Mary J. Blige. Mary was sitting down with arthritis or corn on her feet for all the stomping on the stages that she been doing all of these years. The younger generation don't want to see that. The younger generation don't even know her like that. I personally was a vendor in the bookstore at Essence before, giving half of your profit to the bookstore. No, younger generation ain't doing that. Younger generation go give them a TikTok shop. They're going to learn how to manipulate the system and go viral and stay home.
Family, this woman is literally cutting the younger generation off at the knees if she believes that they would not want to go and promote themselves to a Essence Festival. Over the years would draw in 500,000 people per day. A lot of these folks on TikTok can't even get 500,000 views per month. Are you seriously trying to tell me that they would prefer to get a TikTok shop than to go to a location that is known for pulling in 500,000 people per day for a 3-day event? Like I said, they're trying to make it about everything other than what it is truly about. Salute to Andrea Jones. Thank you for being here, my sister.
They drop shipping. Younger generation ain't doing that old school stuff no more. People could say marketing all they want, but if the younger generation was interested in it, it would have blown up. Marketing my butt. Younger generation be knowing about clubs and stuff that's going on that nobody know. It'd be a little secret. The younger generation don't care about that. New Orleans does though. New Orleans care about that because it brings in this here. And
so why did the majority of New Orleans did not show up then? Why was the majority of the people there at Essence Fest a bunch of tethers? You see, she tried to make this an age divide. She tried to disrespect the younger brothers and sisters who said they wasn't going to go because it wasn't worth their time. Salute to Ayo. Thank you for being here, my brother. No. You can't just say that the younger generation don't, but New Orleans does. New Orleans love it. Okay, if that's the case, you just put the younger generation under the bus. People have traveled from all the 50 states in the United States to go to New Orleans for Essence Fest. That is one of New Orleans' biggest draws when it comes to tourism. So why are you just sitting here trying to talk about just New Orleans? And why wasn't it filled with New Orleans if that was the case? No. What it sounds like is that you're trying to cap for the tethers. You're trying to cap for the people who put on this event so that, I don't know, maybe you want to work with them next year. I don't know what the situation may have you, but I do know that you just threw a whole generation under the bus because they didn't want to go. Without neglecting to mention that the usual people that would travel from all across these United States didn't go either. The ticket sales overall was down. And we're going to get to why. But I wanted to show you guys just the disingenuous people who came out here trying to spin a narrative that they know isn't the cause.
So if anything that would happen, is it'll no longer be called the Darker Hued Festival, and it will become like a yearly carnival or yearly fest, because New Orleans is going to still try to get this here. Trust and believe.
A yearly carnival? When was Essence Fest ever looked at as a carnival? Who are the people who says the word carnival? I'm getting tether vibes for real. I smell a Caribbean. We've never called any of our functions a carnival unless we actually were throwing a carnival. We have parades. We have drum lines. We have all kind of stuff. Ain't never ever called it a carnival. And she's a little bit too excited about it, ain't she?
Even if the darker hues don't come out, because they got to pay for them palm trees that they done put down there on Canal Street. Somebody.
And also, notice how she just sat here and tried to make it. She just literally threw in a piece of the Willie Lynch theory in there. Oh, you won't see any more darker hues, but the New Orleans. Are you saying there's no dark people in New Orleans? Who's from New Orleans? If New Orleans is in the house, please let me know. Are there no dark people in New Orleans? Salute to Wild Williams. Thank you for being here, my brother. Who's ever been? I've never been to New Orleans. So whoever, if you've been to New Orleans, please let me know in the chat. Are there no dark people in New Orleans? Because this tether got me confused as hell. They got me confused. Because I would assume, since black people are all over the United States as well as the globe, when you go to New Orleans, you would see dark-skinned people just as well as light-skinned people, just as well as people in between. are what I like to call my color, cocoa brown. Derek, okay, you were born in New Orleans, my brother. So please let me know, are there dark-skinned people in New Orleans? Because the way she's making it seem as if there's no dark people in New Orleans. Salute to Dwight Dorsey. It says they got black blue people in New Orleans. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I could have I got cousins from New Orleans. And they're darker than me. Not from there, but I lived there for 6 years. Yes, there are plenty. But these people are spinning the narrative. They spinning it better than Charlotte's Web ever spent anything in her web. And their web full of lies. My auntie's nickname was Black. Thank you. Thank you very much, Derek. I appreciate you throwing that in there. There are multiple shades of FBAs in Louisiana. Thank you. Thank you, Dwight. I appreciate that input because this woman is acting like all you gonna catch is Creoles. And my grandmother, my father's mother, is a Creole. And she ain't never said nothing like that. Nothing like that. Every time I asked her about New Orleans, she would say, oh, baby, when you go down there, it's just a blend of beautiful people. And you definitely got to get down there for one of the drum lines. And, you know, you'll love it. It's black people all the eye can see. My nana ain't never told me. My TT ain't never said to me, oh, well, you know, it's going to be, you know, a situation of all Creoles and light skins out there, baby. So you better prepare for that. Like, no. Let's let her continue.
I got to pay for them palm trees and them street cars. Oh, you watch. It's the show gonna go on. They just gonna name it something else.
All right, family. And yes, shout out to Miss L. How disrespectful of the suspected tether to say the essence is evolving. That would indicate that what it once was or its beginnings was not good enough. Definitely tether talk. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I wanted to make sure that we concentrated on that evolving term, because that evolving term is going to pop up several times throughout this broadcast, family, and we want to know exactly where they're getting it from, and I'm going to show you exactly where they got it from. Salute to our sister Patricia A. Jones. Thank you for being here, my sister. Let's go here, because everybody, hold on, everybody got something to say about why people wasn't showing up. So now we're going to get more into the talking points of the sponsor.
Experience. I'm going to give mine because I was there. Let me start out by saying you could have went to Essence this year and had two completely different experiences. You could have went as an everyday person who paid your money. You paid for a flight. You paid for a hotel. You wanted to experience the convention center, the food of New Orleans, and you wanted to go to the concert. And then there was another experience. You could have been an influencer, content creator, or some other level of a VIP, and you likely had a very different experience than the person who just paid their money to come. Let me explain.
Salute, Jesse Paris. Thank you for being here. Shalom to you, my brother. Now, I agree with what she's saying. You could have had two different experiences going there. One as a creator, content creator, someone who's working the event, and as somebody who's a consumer of the event. Because there are two separate experiences you will have. But I'm going ahead and give you the experiences of both sides once we get through this whole situation of the lies.
Explain. First of all, the convention center experience is one that the hallmark of Essence. It's traditionally free. It was free again this year, with the exception of the fact that you could pay for VIP passes, which I kind of get. They were kind of high. The BeautyCon was $150 for the VIP pass, but you paid for those passes to skip the line. And what do I mean by line? Day one of Essence Fest, before the doors open, there are people literally wrapped around the convention center because they are regular everyday people coming to Essence Fest. They want to go to the different booths. They want to check out the free items that are available. They want to participate in the various activities. It's a fun time in the convention center. Now, if you were one of the VIP, influencer, creator, or another level of VIP, you might not have been one of the people standing in line. You had a different level of access to get inside the convention center. I still think the convention center was great, but I also get a lot of people were upset about the Target installation, and more importantly, that Target was still a major sponsor of Essence Fest in general. I'm boycotting Target, so I get it. I didn't go over to where their installation was. But what I will say is you could have had a great time in the convention center doing other things other than the brand-oriented thing, like the Black Global Economic Forum or the Essence author installation. People like Kennedy Ryan were doing book signings. But I also think that the flow, how they allowed people to get into the convention center, was a bit disorganized day one. It was a mad dash. They let everybody in all at once. And day two, they seemed to realize that didn't work, and they slowly allowed people in. So the convention center did not get massively crowded as quickly as it did on Friday, which was also the 4th of July. Now, the concerts. I was seeing reports that at some of the entrances at the Superdome, some people were waiting outside. They didn't know why they were waiting outside. They were hot and it was humid. Now, if you had VIP access, you may not have waited. And also, there was the side B with Master P and Mia X, and then there was Saturday's concert. You've probably heard by now that Lauryn Hill did not come out until 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. People were in there falling asleep, I heard, and allegedly there was an issue with the sound system. Common complaints I heard is that there was a lack of organization, multiple aspects. People were upset about a lot of the
Much love to you, my sister Angelic. It's always a pleasure. You be safe, okay? Drive safe and be safe. Love you.
invite-only event, and people just didn't feel like it's the Essence Festival that they're used to. And here's some of my thoughts. I think Essence Fest needs to, moving forward, center New Orleans influencers leading up to the festival, giving tips on their page, what to do, what to wear, various open experiences people can have access to. Crowd control has got to be a central focus. Y'all have got to release the concert lineup earlier. Releasing it so late, not a good look. I do appreciate that Essence on their Instagram page did address some of people's concern, but I hope that moving forward, they'll put together an intergenerational group of people to help plan the next year's Essence Fest so that it can continue and it can continue to be successful. Just my thought.
Now, family, I played her clip because she started off talking about everything else, and then she got into the Target situation. Cool. All right, cool. However, she did touch on one of the issues that many people are bringing up to Essence. Them not centering New Orleans. Them not centering New Orleans creators, are centering Black excellence as foundational Black Americans, Black American culture in itself. That's the real problem we have here. But let's let the other folks talk about Target and DEI.
I knew people were going to fold when it came to this Target boycott. I didn't know people were going to be smug about it. Like, I knew people would continue their day-to-day. They shopped at Target and was just going to continue to do what they do. But I recently saw a post from a content creator that's going to Essence Fest, a Black creator, that said, yeah, I'm going through Essence Fest through Target, and actually invited their audience to come see them at Target's activation. While the people who are spearheading the Target boycott have told people, hey, if you're going to Essence Fest, because we know that they're a major sponsor for the festival, please avoid the Target booth at all costs. I looked through the comments because I just wanted to see where we are as a society and get an idea of what people thought about it. And the response was really like, well, I'm not going to be miserable for the next 4 years. And I saw one of their followers commented and said, yeah, at least they're paying you and you're not paying them. And this is where a lot of folks have it messed up, because while that creator may be getting paid by Target, they are being paid to entice you to go to Target. They are paid to make you think that they care because they use someone who looks like you. They are paid to entice you to forget all the strides that these Black men and women have been doing for the past couple of months in one of the biggest corporate boycotts, by demanding that a corporate entity that Black folks have put billions of dollars in stand firm behind the Black community and actually say it with their chest, not rename their DEI and not use the Black folks that are in their influencer marketing to pull in Black creators to evade the responsibility on standing firm.
In the world of buy now, pay later, credit card debt being over $1 trillion and people selling out Beyonce tickets, I do not want to hear that people are not going to Essence Fest because of money. People are not going to Essence Fest because of the values that they're standing on, because did we forget? One of the companies we're supposed to be boycotting is one of the major sponsors. And I've heard a lot of people say, oh, but they're in a multi-year contract. They can't just pull out that easily. Let me remind you who owns Essence Fest. This guy, Rich Dennis, is a capitalist, first and foremost. Him and I
Family, she brings up the tether, but don't mention that he's a tether. And we all know not every immigrant is a tether, but when you purchase a company that celebrates Black American excellence and try to open the doors from that company to the rest of the world, that's tethering. But she ain't mentioned the fact that that's what he's doing, and that's the reason why it's going downhill. It's because of the capitalist in him. And the fact that he don't have a problem doing business with Target. Salute to Willie McKinley. Thank you for being here, my brother.
I went to the same alma mater. I actually met this man. He is about the good old American business model. And he owns SS Ventures, which is a private equity firm that's all about precision targeting and driving ROI and accessing the $1.4 trillion in Black Americans. So
No. Don't put in Black Americans. You mean for tethers. Not Black Americans. They're moving 100% away from Black Americans. Salute to Carl for President Anthony. Thank you for being here, family, as well as our sister Queen Yasmin. Thank you for being here. They ain't making this about us. They're moving everything away from us to center everyone else outside of these United States. So don't say Black American. Salute Capricorn FBA. Thank you for being here, as well as Moth. Thank you for being here, family.
So this has nothing to do about whether or not Essence wanted to be moral and ethical. Their target is precision targeting, so getting you in the door and driving the ROI. Now, are they doing that well this year? I don't know. We shall see. And I love
precision targeting. Who are they targeting if they're removing the Black American element? What is the precision of that targeting? Who is in their crosshairs? Because it can't be foundational Black Americans.
the selective outrage, because back in 2020, when Black Women Anonymous came out with their essay on Medium about his leadership causing pay inequity, sexual harassment, corporate bullying, intimidation, colorism, and classism, y'all still continue to go to Essence Fest. So it's almost like we don't care what's happening to Black women, but we do care when they change DEI. Just call it what it is. Okay. So point being, I don't think Essence Fest is having low turnout rate because people can't afford it. If people wanted to go, people would have gone. It's New Orleans, so it's hot. It seems to have been disorganized. And y'all still have Target as a major sponsor.
Like I said, family, they're making every excuse except for the most logical one, that you guys are moving away from the culture of what Essence represented. And you're opening the doors for everyone else to invade the culture of what Essence is or what's supposed to be. So now that culture is not the same anymore. Let's be very clear. Miss Nisi, she said, can we say hairdresser now? Yes, hairdresser now. Maybe if we click our heels 3 times and hope for a hairdresser want to pop up for her. I don't know. They don't want to believe gumbo comes from Africa. Oh, please. Elements of gumbo. Then why the hell Africa don't have a gumbo as good as the one in New Orleans? Let's be very clear about that. If gumbo comes from Africa, why don't gumbo in Africa taste as good as the gumbo in New Orleans? And I don't eat shellfish, but I can have the gumbo with just the meat in it. Pause. So if gumbo comes from Africa, it's the same question we're going to ask with anybody says that anything else comes from Africa. They say hip hop comes from Africa. If hip hop comes from Africa, where's your African Tupac Shakur? Where's your African Kendrick Lamar? Where's your African Ice Cube? Where's your African DOC? Your African DMX? Your African Andre 3000. Let's be very clear about this. Just because y'all might have some elements and called it soup doesn't make it gumbo. Let's be very clear. And I'm not hammering down on you, my brother. I just got to make sure I say this simple and very plain. Because that is called erasure. The number one reason why people didn't go to Essence Fest is because they pushing erasure. If you don't understand that, then you're pushing the erasure too. Whether knowingly or unknowingly, that's what it is. Salute the Hula Gang. They don't even call it gumbo. Gumbo is is famous. They food is they want to claim good while saying that they are different from us. Absolutely. Let's go here, family. Let's go here. Oh. So now this brother here, this brother is actually kind of right, because this brother that we're about to get into, he's actually putting the blame where it's supposed to go, and he's putting it on the leadership. But he says black leadership. He says black leadership instead of saying Caribbean leadership or African leadership, because it isn't Black American leadership. Kid gravity is crazy. All right, let's go here. Hold up. All right, here we go.
For Essence Festival, and what I'm witnessing is the failure of black leadership. Please, I want you to really listen to what I'm saying. Like, check me out. Essence Festival, yes, declined over years from what its peak was back in the day. And the economy is hurting. Companies are hurting. That means sponsors are less willing to put up. You got the whole DEI thing, right? So they're even less willing to put up money for something they feel like they don't have to anymore. And then the final death knell is this boycott. So we got a Target boycott, and then people are saying, well, Target put in some money for the festival, so let's boycott the festival. What you're seeing is what happens when black leadership only gives you the ability to tear down and not build up. Please listen to what I'm saying carefully. I'm not saying the boycott is good or bad. What I am saying is there's a long history of black leaders only having that one weapon. Now, in the past, some of that's understandable, like very limited options. But even in the past, there's a failure of imagination sometimes, right? It's Dr. King leading this bus boycott, and S.B. Fuller comes to him and says, hey, why don't we just buy the bus line? And there wasn't any interest in that. A failure of imagination. I deal with that in episode 7 of the Black Jack podcast. Then you have examples of really successful boycotts that just don't go beyond that. So we look at the boycott in Savannah, Georgia back in 1960. Hosea Williams leads this movement. They boycott the downtown businesses, and in 1 month, those businesses lose $1 million, which is astounding. But where's the imagination to build from that? Look at Operation Breadbasket back in the day. When Dr. King came to Chicago in 1966, after that, they started moving to Operation Breadbasket, and they would boycott companies so that those companies would hire black people. And there was, some success with that, and there were some good things that happened. But one of the things that you find, if you look at the history of it, a lot of those companies went out of business because they couldn't sustain being boycotted. And so if your only weapon is to tear down, just like some of those businesses that black people relied on went out of business, now you're seeing a festival being torn down. Please hear what I'm saying. I'm not making a judgment one way or the other. I'm just saying, if all you give people is the ability to tear down, there are real limitations and consequences, frankly.
So, family, his assessment of the fact is, the leadership won, but all the other situations, DEI, making sponsors not want to support, other sponsors dropping out, all this stuff. Okay, those may be factors, but why are they factors? If Target pulled out tomorrow, right? Let's say we were having another Essence Fest and Target wasn't a sponsor, but it was still practicing the culture and pushing and supporting the culture of foundational Black Americans. Pause. I heard you, kid. I heard it already before he put it in the chat. All right. If it was still pushing the culture, then guess what? Target not being there wouldn't make a difference, because other Black-owned businesses would want to sponsor you. Independent Black people would want to sponsor you. Why can't you find other sponsors, my friend? because it's not something that we want to support. Salute and shalom to Maxwell Jenkins. Thank you for being here, family, as well as Lemonade. Always good to see you, my sister. Let's let them continue.
I'm calling on Black leaders to give Black people the ability to not just tear down, but build up. So it's one thing to tell me to boycott Target, but give me something constructive to build us up. And this was, again, I keep saying the genius of Elijah Muhammad with this economic plan that the Nation of Islam had. They had an economic plan. Like, what can we do to build up, not just individuals, because Black businesses build individual entrepreneurs and there's some effect, but you need an economic plan for the group. Give me that task. Give me that to build. The Nation of Islam had slaughterhouses for meat. They had farms. They had trucks. They had distribution. They had a bank. They had all this stuff going on because they had a plan for the group. And I'm challenging us to say, okay, what is the plan? Not just for a few people to do well, but the group. Stop just giving me a hammer to tear stuff down, but give me hammers and nails and plywood and everything to build up. So I deal with that economic plan in episode 6 of the Black Jack Podcast. You can check that out. But I'm just saying it can't just be what can we tear down. At some point, where's the plan to build up?
All right. Salute to that, brother. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not against what he said. I'm against his assessment. That's just me. Like, everybody's mentioning everything except for the core of why people are walking away from the Essence Festival. It had nothing to, I don't want to say it didn't have nothing to do with those elements. Some of those elements is actually correct. You know, however, the festival would have continued if you actually had Black grassroots support of the festival. Let's be very clear about that. But let's listen to this. The Zesty and his assessment of the situation.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say the loud part out loud. People in New Orleans for Essence Festival, and many people are saying that it's real empty in the streets, Bourbon Street real empty, the convention center empty, all of this good jazz. The Essence convention staff is saying that the organization is saying that ticket sales are down, vendors are pulling out, big name people are pulling out. Let me tell you all this. There's been a lot of conversation about how the Essence Festival culture is losing the essence of culture as it pertains to inclusivity of including its people, not just local artists and consultants and New Orleanians, but also prioritizing what it means to be Black, right? And so there are still people who are accepting corporate sponsorships from people who have cut out diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI. There are people who are going to stand their ground and not support the organization that is going to succumb to what political pressures look like for the sake of a dollar. At the end of the day, people's respect is due a dog, and people deserve the utmost respect, especially when they are contributing their finances and their sweat equity to ensure that this festival comes to the fruition that it needs to be. We got to go back to a time where we got to come together and understand that in the midst of all that is going on, that we got to stick together and band together and not rely upon other sources that want us to be subservient to them. Especially since the passing of this thing, this bill, yeah, we got to come together. But that's just a little insight as to what's going on.
Oh,
So,
KG. He's Kelly Walden's cousin. One cook, one fake. Okay. All right. All right. All right, family. All these folks giving their assessment, they tend to leave out the actual assessment. The man, Rich Dennis here, born in Liberia. He made his wealth from shea butter, shea moisture, or whatever. Okay. That's the thing. And then once he purchased Essence and the Essence Festival, because a lot of people think those two things go hand in hand, they really aren't. They're two different entities in itself. Well, not entities, but they were two different things. So Essence was literally just the magazine, and then the Essence Festival came along once they celebrated their 25 years of having the magazine. And so it became two separate entities in itself. But even though Essence was, well, the festival was new, it became the largest draw of New Orleans, what is it called? Tourism. So that's what Essence was. Well, this man purchased both sides of Essence, and then he slaps this Kenyan woman at the Realms. And this Kenyan woman has said multiple times, and this Kenyan, before we move forward, the Kenyan woman also is a part of the LGBTQ and all that other stuff. That's her wife right there. I don't know if those are their kids put together. You know, someone's taking cells from each of them and putting it into an egg and then letting someone fertilize it. I don't know if their kids are like that or if they're adopted. But this is the woman here, right? And this woman made it her business. I remember 2022, while we was rolling around, running around, making sure people knew that the delineation was real, while those Africans and Caribbeans was starting all this nonsense and then coming to us talking about why is the diaspora wars? The diaspora wars must end. When we wasn't starting nothing, they were starting stuff. We were just addressing the nonsense that they were bringing to the table. So around that time in 2022, this woman got herself up there on the podium disrespecting Black Americans and trying to make it about everybody in the diaspora rather than what the magazine and the festival was most successful at, which was celebrating Black American culture. Let's go here.
Optimal health because we started at the wrong place. Your foot is broken and you're over here trying to make sure your face look good. But you can't walk. The last one is world. What does that mean? It means something really simple that is a pet peeve of mine that I'm going to put on the table and then we're going to shut up. All this BS about African versus U.S. Black versus Caribbean Black versus Canadian Black versus Antarctica Black. I don't have facts to prove that. We everywhere. Arctic Black.
Ain't it so funny how the same people that refused to say black, they were black, they kept saying, I'm not black, I'm African, I'm not black, I'm Nigerian, I'm not black, I'm Ghanaian, I'm not black, I'm Caribbean, I'm not black, I'm not black, I'm not black. All of a sudden, they don't have an issue saying blackity black, 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 with some black on the side, with a little bit of black on the backside. It's really hilarious to me. Oh, salute to the ears that hears the truth. Thank you for your Cash App donation, my sister. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution. Yeah, but I find that incredibly, incredibly funny. The same folks that refuse to say black, it's now just the blackest people. We were saying, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, and now they're blacker than that. All of a sudden.
If you allow that narrative to exist within you, you're participating in dismantling who we're supposed to be in this world, y'all.
Who are we supposed to be in this world? I feel like the brother from Sinners, I forget the dude's name, but when Renty was outside talking about now, y'all out here telling ghost stories in place of what we ought to be doing. And the brother was like, and what is it we ought to be doing? Who are we supposed to be in this world? I know one thing, we're not supposed to be a people who goes and see another people that look like us and say we're going to assimilate into those people's culture and then take what they've created and then push erasure. That's not what we're supposed to be. So who are we supposed to be? Because when we were being the accepting people, the loving people, the inclusive people, the people who wanted to bring all the black faces into the circle and give a big old hug, hold hands and sing Hands Across America. Y'all was sitting here saying, we don't rock with you. Y'all was saying we was Akatas. Y'all was calling us Jareers. Y'all was calling us everything under the sun except the children of the Most High. So what is it we're supposed to be? when you guys chose with your own damn mouths, said out your mouths, you did not want to be around us. You did not want to be inclusive with us. You didn't want to be a people that work with each other. All of a sudden, we out here telling ghost stories in place of doing what we ought to be doing? Tether, please.
Rich and I are no more, actually no less dedicated to the black community in the US than we are to the black community in Africa and in the Caribbean and in Europe. And the fact that our descent is African and your descent might be different does not mean that we can't represent all.
No. That's exactly what it means. That's exactly what it means, especially when you get here and you immediately start erasing what was already being represented. That's exactly what it means. That's exactly what it means. Matter of fact, salute to William Aaron with the exclamation point earrings. Yeah, that's exactly what it means with her earrings at the end of my sentence. Exclamation point. The hell are you talking about? And that's the problem. You said that you can't, it doesn't mean that we can't represent all. Yeah, it does mean that, because when you're including all of your nonsense from your culture into something that was already culturally built, that's called erasure. You dirty, filthy tether. That's called erasure. You dirty, filthy tether.
And we're not fighting for all. And we keep letting this narrative exist in the fucking, world.
You wasn't fighting for all before you got here. And you wasn't fighting for all once you got here. There's only been one group of people around the world globally who's gotten up off their ass and fought for all, and it isn't you. It was not the Kenyans. Obama came over here and showed us exactly why we shouldn't trust you Kenyans. It's not the Nigerians, not the Jamaicans. It's none of those people. It has only been one group of people, and that's foundational Black Americans. All of a sudden, y'all fighting for everybody all over the globe. What have you done? Give me an itemized list of what you've done over the decades that showed that you was fighting for global blackness. Go. Can nobody do that? Can't nobody do that? No worries, my sister. That's exactly what it is. DFT. Dirty, filthy tether. That's exactly what it is. Let's let her continue.
I told y'all this is me. If you were calling me, this is how it would come out, y'all.
Nah. This is you. This is also you. Nah. What? What? Salute still Kevin Trees. Thank you for being here, my brother. Why she looks like a random Sims? Hey, you are not lying. You are not lying. Oh, let me run that back, family.
Who don't deserve to help make black better.
Hold up.
We dismantle the part of that conversation that is about if you ain't a black, I certify you don't deserve to help make black better.
Okay, first and foremost, I ain't never heard anybody say anything about if you're not black from America, you don't deserve to make black better. That's not the argument. The argument here is if you're not a foundational black American, you can't speak on foundational black American culture. And you can't come to America and try to change what foundational black American culture is. It has nothing to do with whether you're trying to make black better. If you want to make black better, cool. Start at home. Start at home. Yes. And another good point. Shout out to our sister Andrea Jones because she caught that. Did she say certified? Yes, she said certified. So you know who she was watching during the time. She was watching our good old brother, Black Alpha. That's where she got that certified from. Family, these folks can go around and try to make it seem like it was everything else. But you know our brothers and sisters. Oh, our brothers and sisters, they come on out and they give you the real. They give the yabba dabba do. They don't give the yabba dabba don't. They gonna tell you what you yabba dabba did. So let's start off with some of the issues at hand. So first and foremost, some of the issues that was happening, there was a lot of technical issues. Microphones wouldn't stay on, microphones off. It was a lot of tech issues. Who's a certified audio visual technician. These are issues that should have been well addressed way before the situation came about. Way before the situation, way before the Essence Fest came about, the sounding, the sound, the visuals, all that should have been double checked 2 days beforehand. While people are doing sound checks and everything else. That's the purpose of the sound check, is to make sure everything is working properly. And when you have artists flying in from across the country, you don't wait till the day of and just let mistakes happen. No, I don't care if the artists aren't there. You're doing sound check 2 days in advance. You're bringing in local artists 2 days in advance so that you can hear what this song, this music will sound like on the stage with all the speakers. When you're way in the back up top, is it going to touch every area of the room? Is it going to hit every area of the venue? These are things you're supposed to be doing 2 days before the event takes place. That's just the facts. And if the artist isn't there and you got to work with local artists, you gear the local artists up. And then a little bit later, after you get it to the right levels, then you switch out the local artist music for the artist who's going to be there. So if Glorilla is performing and she couldn't make it, then guess what? You pull in a local artist, allow them to do a sound check for you. You replace their music with Glorilla's music. And then when she goes on stage for the first time saying check, 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 you make sure the music is playing in the background at the level it's supposed to play at. And while she's going check, 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 you're sitting there giving that microphone check and putting the microphone levels where they're supposed to be. That's what a professional sound engineer would do. Now, there's several different things that a professional sound engineer would do. There's several different techniques. That's my favorite technique. Getting a local artist, letting them do a little something, something. I pay them for that little bit of time. And then I replace their music with the artist that's going to be performing. So when the artist gets on stage and they start talking, because 9 times out of 10, as soon as the artist touches the stage and the microphone's in their hand, the first thing that they start doing is giving a shout out. New Orleans, how you doing? While they're doing that, I would be behind the boards giving them vocal leveling. That's a professional. Well, family, I bet Glorilla wish I was there doing the engineering at the time, because this is what Glorilla had to do.
My mic keep going in and out. Don't piss me off, goddamn. I'm trying to give him a good ass show. Y'all fucking up my mic and shit.
A few moments later.
Now I'm gonna play that again.
My mic keep going in and out. Don't piss me off, goddamn. I'm trying to give him a good ass show. Y'all fucking up my damn mic and shit.
A few moments later.
Family, I wish I could have been there for. I don't listen to a lot of Glorilla. I really don't listen to no Glorilla. But if I got a phone call and Glow was like, "Hey, I need you to engineer my sound," I'd be like, "I'll be there. I'll be there." And guess what? Her sound would sound immaculate. Now everybody else that come after her, I don't know. But the fact that her microphone cut out in the middle of her set, that's just disrespectful. To any artist, that's disrespectful. Yeah, they might be paid to be there. But guess what? A lot of artists, they take that type of situation real serious. When they want to put on a show, that's very serious for them. Especially people like Kendrick Lamar, who thinks about every aspect of his show meticulously. So even as an artist myself, if I show up and I'm being paid to perform somewhere, and I show up and I'm in the middle of a performance and then the microphone just cuts the hell out, oh, I'm going to be cussing somebody the hell out too. I might even get a little bit more than I was supposed to get in my check. But that was just one of the many problems, family. One of the many problems. Another problem that we had there, buddies, my family, and somebody mentioned and alluded to this earlier in the chat. Let me go ahead and pull this down for a second. Someone alluded to this in the chat. The cosmetic situation. Apparently, people was paying for the VIP so that they didn't have to wait in line for the cosmetics and all this other stuff. And apparently that situation was a highly disrespectful situation. I'm going to let the sister say it for herself and tell everybody in her own words, because I don't want to misquote her. Salute to our brother John's son. Thank you for being here, family. And also Jane Doe, thank you for being here, family. Let's go here. Let's pull her on up.
So I'm in here at the convention center. Okay, you see it behind me. And this is the BeautyCon area, right? So this is where they're giving out all the products, all the samples and stuff. People stand in line forever and ever in order to get a bag with products, right? So we all look forward to this. We don't mind standing in line. We do all of that through all the confusion and everything. We still enjoy. So this year I said, you know what, I'm gonna do something different, and I'm actually gonna get the VIP so that I don't have to do all of that, and I will be able to get the full-size products is what you're supposed to get with VIP, and I don't have to stand in line. I could really just enjoy the other things of the convention center that's going on right now, right? So you're supposed to, the time frame for it was, no, first, let me back up. It was $150 plus tax and fees, coming up to like $184. Okay.
I'm going to finish. I'm going to let her finish, but hold on. This is another great point right here. Salute to John's son. Badu would never. Badu would probably get off the stage, walk back there to wherever the sound person is, and slap him dead in the face. I'm going to be 100 with you. But she's a perfectionist. And many artists are perfectionists. But that's a great point. Badu would never, Janet would never, Michael would never. Let's keep it 100. Somebody was messing with Mike's sound and he called him a damn schmuck. All right, let's continue.
Okay, so the time frame for it was from 9:30 to 2 p.m. Okay, so I get here at 11. By the time I got in there, mind you, it's just a box basically that they set up, and you go in there and they have a few people going around the room that have one product of something. Out of all of the stations that they had set up in there, only a few of them even had people there because everything else was already wiped out. Then you got 3 tables of ladies in there doing their nails. Now, everybody coming down here are already prepared. Hair, nails. You're not coming down here thinking, I'm gonna go get my nails done at the VIP experience for $150. Get the fuck out of here. There was nothing in there. They gave us nothing. Look at this little bitty ass bag of shit I got. Look at this. Look at this. Mind you, BeautyCon is something that goes around the country. I researched this shit before I paid my fucking money. Like this year with Essence, like y'all really on one. I'm disputing this fucking charge on my card. Please believe. This is some bullshit. How you playing on people? I promise you're gonna see way more women, way more people making videos just like me because I'm pissed off, bitch. I'm like, where the fucking manager in this motherfucker? Cause how? $180 for this? They got the people that was standing in line that got bags bigger than me, bitch. Are you serious? Essence, are you fucking dumb? Like, what?
Salute to that sister. 100. Salute to you, sister, because I understand. You didn't pay $150 to get a bunch of cheap products in a tiny bag when everybody else is getting all the great products who waited in line and got more than you. Salute to you, sister. Call it out. Salute to our brother FBA Freeman. Thank you for being here, family. He said the Erasure Festival. Exactly. Our sister Queen Yasmin says, okay, that's like the man who didn't play the piano in the 5 heartbeats. Play the piano right in the 5 heartbeats. Push his ass out the way. Exactly. And start getting down. The guy sitting at the piano is the tether. Much love to you for that one. One of my favorite movies, by the way, 5 Heartbeats. To build it up. Anyway, is there a heart in the house tonight? Stand up. And also salute and shalom to our brother Brandon Dumas. Thank you for being here, family. Let's go here because it wasn't just the situation with the makeup or anything like that. Do you know that the fire marshal came out and had to shut some stuff down, family? The fire marshal, I almost called him Fire Marshal Bill, but Fire Marshal Bill came on out and had to shut down several booths, apparently. Let's get into it.
Update. Essence Festival 2025. The fire marshal had to shut Julia's place down because the lines were too long. She was shutting the lines down, wouldn't give the free box of cosmetics that she advertised that she was going to give. After she didn't give the boxes that was promised, she said, oh, you have to purchase something to get the free box. $20. A $20 purchase to get the free box. Everybody was willing to purchase something. I wanted to purchase some cosmetics, which, like I said, they told us we couldn't get in the line. She was shutting it down, that she wasn't going to open it back up until 4. Knowing that the Essence Festival closed at 5. So make it make sense. So you see, God doesn't like ugly. And that is why the fire marshal came through there and shut her down, as he should. because God don't like you when you're greedy, and he don't like you when you're ugly.
I used to hear all the time, God don't like ugly and ain't too fond of pretty. Shout out to my mama for that one. But shout out to this sister right here who ends up just telling it for what it is.
Now, y'all know I don't be in nobody business, but Essence Fest, we are not coming this year, next year, the year after, until y'all realize that we are Black Americans. And we do got the money, baby. But y'all not going to play in our face. We don't want fufu. We don't want jollof rice. We are not African. We are not Black Caribbeans. We are none of those things. We are Americans. We have our own food, our own culture, our own music. Stop playing with our top and thinking we not going to show y'all something. We going to show y'all. Now, if you don't get somebody Black up in there, you might as well cancel this shit because it's going to be way more empty next year. We're not coming. We are not African. We're not finna cosplay as African. We do not care how anybody feel about it. This our motherfucking country. That's our event. And y'all need to make it what it need to be. Bye, bitch.
That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. And shout out to that sister. This is our country. This is our culture. Y'all need to make it what it's supposed to be. Period. If you want things to work out for you, then you would actually oblige the culture in which created it. Not the nonsense that you want to include into something that shouldn't have it included. Y'all can't do nothing in this country without us being there. Because we're the majority when it comes to Black folk. If you're trying to have a Black event, why isolate the Black people that can make sure your event pop? It makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me. Cancel S's and all cruises. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one. 100-fold. Let's go here, family. Hold up. Apparently, that wasn't one of the only things that was happening. Well, the fire marshal came out. You had the microphone issues. You had, excuse me, all these issues with the makeup artists and things like that. And now you had a leaky roof. You had water dripping on people in the damn center at the Essence Festival as if they were outside standing in the rain. Now, mind you, family, it was not raining out there, but the condensation from all the stuff that was happening was leaking from the damn roof. Let's go here.
Whoever is in charge of maintenance at Caesar Superdome to come to the front, because you need BTA, all right? You need this belt to your... Y'all, there is no way on God's green earth that anybody should be sitting inside and getting rained on. And no, it was not raining last night, but the condensation dripping off the ceilings all over you while you sitting down trying to enjoy music. Like, the audio, let's talk about that too. The audio trash, right? Like, them people monitors was all messed up. They singing, they can't hear themselves. They taking their earpieces out. Like, Essence is a beautiful event, right? Celebration of Black excellence. It is a beautiful event, but the preparedness, zero. Like, y'all gotta do better.
This is a great comment right here. Shout out to LaShawn Kent. Thank you for being here, family, because they thought it was going to be a takeover. Exactly. Erasure. They thought they were going to be able to bring in elements of their culture and eliminate our elements and say they're going to love this. No, 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 no. Excuse me, family. No, 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 no. That's not what's going to happen here at all. You say Jada Kiss is a download tether? Oh, say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. I'm going to have to look into that. But let's go here, family. Because this sister talks about the disrespectful elements of everything that they did to Essence Festival in order to make it Essence Mess.
Essence Fest. That lady got up there on that podium and she said, yes, motherland, Africa. It came from Africa. The blankly disrespect. I don't know about y'all, but Black Americans is tired of being the bottom of the totem pole. We give you culture, you take it, you run with it. You know what I do respect about BET though? BET says black excellence. It always do in their commercials, black excellence. And I always wondered, like, why do they just say black excellence? And now I understand why, because you can't intertwine the two. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I ain't never woke up and said, let me play some African music. I've listened to people from Africa who have beats and they sing as if they're Americans. You don't need no other body. But I'm not waking up just listening to no African music. The problem is everybody from every other continent literally comes to America and disrespects us. And you even got some Africans on here saying that they were taught to come over here to disrespect us. Like as if we're bugs or something. I believe that. Everybody talking about they returning home to Africa, but this is your home. Even the ancestors fought to stay here because they were never from Africa. Like, who have jollof rice and they might have a standoff? Like, who could cook this rice better than you? Like, who does that? I never ate that and don't want to. It's just like the Chinese, how y'all go to these Vietnam nail shops and they cuss you out. Africans do the same thing. People from other countries, black people, do the same thing. And the crazy part is they don't even claim black until it's time to benefit from it. Civil rights. I just say forget the whole thing, because even though the man from the Essence Fest, you know, the CEO, he is literally from Liberia. So of course he was going to turn it into his culture for his people. But everything we have for us, everybody always takes it. Fucking sad shame. So anyway, it ended up empty. Not many of us was there. And when I think about it, without us, they don't have no energy. Stop giving all these energy. We are the culture, we are the divine, we are the energy. Something they don't have. They don't even know how to set up. Just take. You got people from the Caribbean, no disrespect, trying to say that reparations belong to them, but okay, do it in your country. Why you got to take it from ours? The British colonies, they the ones that did this shit. We're not a part of France. If no one can respect us in our country, stay out of their restaurants, stay out of their braid shops, stay out of their nail shops. The end. See how life can be so simple? Stay out of everybody's establishments until they start respecting us. Don't matter what race, color, creed you are. Amen. Amen. And the icing on the cake, the disrespect is so loud.
The sister said it all. I didn't even have to put nothing on it. Until people start to learn to to respect foundational Black Americans and cut out the disrespect, then let them just wither on the vine. Let them find what was the FAFO. Let them find out. The more they F around. Because the truth of the matter is, she's right. Without our energy, what do they have? Not nothing. Not a damn thing. And every event that they put on will go downhill. And everything they do will go downhill. Salute to our brother Christopher Ellis. Thank you for being here, my brother. But let's get into some of this disrespect, shall we? She mentioned the jollof rice. Ladies and gentlemen, these mother lovers was having a jollof versus jambalaya competition. Notice right here who the sponsor is in that. AT&T. Put a pin in that. We'll get back to that in a second. Salute to our brother Christopher Ellis. Thank you for your super chat, family. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution truly. They were having a jollof versus jambalaya cook-off. Yeah, how disrespectful. How you try to force some nasty stuff that we don't eat, we never really wanted to be a part of, into a situation and try to pit them against each other. And I guarantee you they came up with that idea this year because last year the goddamn attendance was way down too. There was less foundational Black Americans. So they're trying to now pull in who? More Africans, more Caribbeans. So now they're trying to toss in stuff like Jollof, stuff like Fufu. Salute to our sister Aquarius Minded. Thank you for being here, my sister. This is what the hell they're doing. This is disrespectful to have this nonsense walking around the facility trying to hand it out to people, asking them to go ahead and eat some Jollof. That's what this is. It's all about the disrespect. That's why it's going downhill. That's exactly why it's going downhill. Because don't nobody like to see their culture erased because of another person that looked just like them. Let me go over to Africa and instead of serving jollof rice at an African event, I come with some dirty rice or something like that. They would go to hell off. They would go to hell off. Salute to Miss L once again. She said the sad part is, excuse me, the sad part is in the past, if the tethers would have been thinking, what the hell is going on here? I'm sorry, family. My screen just went black for a second. The sad part is in the past, if the tethers would have been thinking we were being janky, excuse me, when in reality it's them. Thank God we delineated. Yeah, that delineation has helped us a whole damn lot when it came to seeing people for who they really are. That delineation process has really pushed the whole situation that Maya Angelou was talking about. Instead of people trying to tell us who they are, they started showing us. And we're believing them. But family, I got to bring a clip from one of our good brothers who is a good brother of the channel and a good brother to me as well, to talk about this Jollof stuff. Y'all seen him here before on the channel. You know him. You love him. Got to bring in our brother, Brian Jehovah. Let's hear what he has to say on the situation.
Oh, they messed up the Essence Festival. How y'all mess up the Essence Festival? I know why. People say, well, because of Target and DEI. No. It's the African and Caribbean. You trying to bring African and Caribbean into Black American culture. Then you have it in New Orleans, right? Think about it. These people was trying to sell Jollof. They were trying to have a face-off with Jollof versus jambalaya. Come on now. How you going to disrespect New Orleans like that, bringing Jollof there? You get what I'm saying? Now, I don't know about y'all Black people, but my grandma and granddaddy never cooked no goddamn on Jollof. They never cooked Jollof before. I ain't bullshit. They never cooked it. Now, jambalaya, yes. And another thing people are saying, well, people don't have the money. Black Americans got money. You hear me? Don't let these folks lie to y'all think we ain't got no money to go there. Black Americans got paper. Are you seeing where Black people traveling to every other weekend? Beyonce concert, even might be using with Afterpay, but they still going. The reason why, once again, I made this on another video, is because Africans and Caribbeans trying to force their culture on Black Americans. That's not our style. That's just not us. They should have their own thing. Then the sad part about it, Black American woman ain't running it no more. Soon as those Africans got their hands on the Essence magazine or the festival, whatever, everything went downhill. Vendors can't do nothing. The locals can't do nothing. Everybody want to put the Africans in there want to put their hands in the Black American pockets out there in New Orleans.
Facts. 100% facts. Salute and shalom to our good brother DSB. Thank you for being here, family. Welcome to the building. Also, to answer your question, my brother, do we consider Canadian Black people as FBA? How can they be foundational Black American if they're from Canada? Now, they can be Black Canadians, but FBA stands for Foundational Black Americans, which means the people who descend from the enslaved individuals in America. Now, here's the thing. If they're in Canada, but they still have lineage back to the slave trade here in America, they're still not FBA. They have FBA ancestry, but by them going up to Canada, they had their own ethnogenesis as well. Now, if they're FBA and just living in Canada, that's a whole different situation. I hope that answers your question, family.
Come on, man. It ain't the same no more. Just like I said in the other video, anything Africans and Caribbeans get into that's Black American always fail. Look, like I said in the video, look at our movies. Look at the movies. Just watch some of these movies. A lot of these people ain't Black Americans. They just not. And it don't hit the same. TV shows don't hit the same. It just don't. I'm sorry, it just don't. It's not working. And I hope corporate media, people that invest in saying they wasting their money on these people. Black Americans, man, we just a different type of breed. And you can't mix that with us. You can't do that. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Let me go back to this right quick. I'm gonna end right here. I know people that listen to Afro beats. I get it. I know people that listen to reggae music. I understand it. But majority of people don't listen to that. They just don't. So it's not because Black Americans don't got no money. Black Americans got money. Target, I didn't even know Target was even having. Black people don't care about no goddamn Target. I still shop at Target. Just be real. It's because people are bridging cultures together that just don't mesh well with Black American culture. And especially the disrespect to New Orleans culture out there. Trying to give people Jollof. Nobody want no Jollof. Come on, man.
Facts. That's exactly what it was all about. It was all about disrespecting Black American culture. That's it. There's no other way to look at it, family. It's just not. And yes, they should be hiring FBAs. They should be hiring, they should be having FBA vendors. There should be a lot of stuff circled around FBAs there. But since they didn't want to include FBAism, they didn't include FBAs because we would have been calling them out like many of us did as vendors. So let's go here, family. Let's look at a little bit more of the disrespect. This is something from Essence I want you to take a look at, okay? The Essence Festival of Culture, and I'm starting at the second right here, okay? The Essence Festival of Culture, held annually in New Orleans, is the largest festival in America by per day attendance, attracting over 500,000 attendees daily over the 3-day event. The launch signals and recognizes Essence global intent and expansion. This is after they were purchased. Okay, aiming to build a solid foundation for its global Black community and bridge the gap. No, we already had a solid foundation for Black Americans. So now you're trying to break up the foundation and put a new foundation under it. With Nigeria as a focal country, due to its rich talents, history, tradition, entrepreneurship, heritage, and significant percentage of the Black diaspora. Tell me that isn't disrespectful to foundational Black Americans. The most talented people around the globe is right here. The most talented Black people around the globe is right here. We got the richest history, the richest traditions. And when you talk about entrepreneurship, look at how many Black entrepreneurs here has affected the world. Has affected the world. And when you talk about heritage, who else's heritage and culture is being cosplayed globally? It's not Nigerian culture. And when you talk about a significant percentage of the Black diaspora, that's also here because they all rush here because they want to be closer to white zaddy and foundational Black Americans. Let's be very clear about that. Let's be very clear. Let's be very clear about that. Salute to the big Black God. Thank you for your Cashapp donation, family. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution. Family, the disrespect is real. So they told you what their goal was when they purchased the magazine and when they purchased the festival. Salute to Brandon Dumas. Honestly, it's our fault. We wanted to include these people's elders, and now that we see their true colors, we're getting them out of the paint. You're absolutely correct, family, and I appreciate you for saying that because it is kind of on us. It is kind of our fault. We should have been listening to our brother, Dr. Claude Anderson, way, way before this. We should have been taking heed to what our elder was telling us way, way before this. I was just in Walmart today listening to one of these African tethers having a whole conversation on speakerphone, walking down the aisles, just loud and not reading the room. Oh, man. 1,000 family. I appreciate it. Why they sell Essence? I think that they were going into bankruptcy. But instead of selling, and this is another thing that we as foundational Black Americans have to start pushing too. If we have a company that represents Black people and Black culture and they're going out of business, we should be given the opportunity to put the money together to purchase it. That's what I feel. The same way the Nabiscos didn't want to sell houses to Black people. They put it in the contracts to only sell to other Nabiscos. We should be able to do that with our businesses, especially if they represent the real culture. Let me see. You ain't lying. Burner Boy came up with a remix and Brandy song and May song, and that stuff is trash. I can't stand to listen to no damn Burner Boy. I don't give a damn who he remixing. You're ruining a perfectly good song. And I'm going to be 100 with you. Now, let's get to some more disrespect. This person here, Chief Ray Michelle, excuse me. She's responding. Let's read this first. She's responding to Tori Wan Kenobi that says, I don't support a Jollof versus Jambalaya contest at Essence Fest because this is supposed to be a celebration of Black American culture. You should join the festivities to engage and learn New Orleans and Black American culture, not start a real life diaspora war. You're our guest. You are a guest, but I'm saying you're our guest. And the response to that from this Chief Ray Michelle, here's the thing. Essence Fest isn't about New Orleans. Are you a damn fool? It started in New Orleans. It's always been in New Orleans. It's always been about New Orleans. It's only the host city. Ask the locals. You'll hear a mouthful of that. No. All the locals that I know and all the people that I know that went to Essence Fest in the past has always tied Essence Fest to New Orleans. It has always had New Orleans culture. One of the reasons why people love to go is because of the New Orleans food. The brother at the beginning of this said it himself. It's a celebration of all Black cultures. It's crazy because all Black cultures wasn't what set it up to be the magazine that it was. All Black cultures wasn't what it was. Wasn't what it set up. It wasn't set up off of all Black culture that made the festival so successful. No, it was New Orleans Black culture that made the festival successful, and it was Black American culture that made the magazine successful. Friendly competition don't hurt anybody, but get folks interested in learning of new things. Relax. No, it ain't competition. You want competition? Let me explain to you what competition is. Competition would be, while the Essence Festival is going on, you got the African Festival going on the same days as the Essence Festival, and they're doing all their African culturalisms while the Essence Festival is doing all Black American culturalism, and say, let the best culture win. That is competition. Working your way, buying a company that has been centered and created and founded on Black American culture, hiring another tether to run it, and then replace Black American culture with tether culture. Well, let me rephrase that because it's not all tethers. Immigrant culture. That's a problem. That is not competition. That's erasure. That is erasure. Salute to Akibala Nation. Thank you for your Cash App donation, my brother. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution. That's what this is. It's erasure. It is not a competition. And that's why y'all didn't set up your own event, because you know it couldn't be a competition. Your culture versus ours. Ours wins hands down every single time. Put any culture up against foundational Black American culture, and ours is going to win every single time. That's why our culture is global, while everybody else's culture is just local. Tell me if I'm telling lies. Tell me if I'm being dishonest when I say that. For over 30 years, Essence Festival culture has been a vibrant homecoming and cultural pilgrimage, born from a celebration of Essence Magazine 25th anniversary, and now honoring 55 years of a legacy that has shaped, uplifted, and empowered generations. Whose legacy? No. Don't just throw in celebrating 55 years of legacy that has shaped, uplifted, and empowered generations without saying what legacy was that? Whose legacy was that? What led to those things? Because then you would have to mention foundational Black American culture. Every 4th of July weekend, we gather in New Orleans to celebrate Black excellence in all its forms. Family. Let's go here. Remember, I just read this where they said they want to center Nigeria for its rich talents, history, tradition, entrepreneurship, heritage, and significant percentage of the Black diaspora. That leads to this situation.
Hi, my name is Amon. We did an actor from Nigeria, and culture means earth, motherland, Africa, originality, and culture is the essence of our being, the togetherness, the oneness, the community, the society that we're from, and we should always celebrate that. So yes, whatever it is, if you're African, go back to Africa and connect to your source.
Get somebody else to do it.
Family, she said cultural. What culture is Africa. But yet you had to come to America, purchase a goddamn magazine that was built off of Black Americans, then took the festival and just instituted all these cultural situations that had nothing to do with Black American culture in order for it to pop, and it still didn't pop. That's a good point. Let them celebrate in Nigeria. Why aren't they having these type of celebrations in Nigeria if Nigeria is the cultural rich situation? If foundational Black Americans aren't the goddamn lifeblood, then why the hell didn't y'all do this event in Nigeria? It could have been the first Essence Festival in Nigeria. Because I ain't got nothing, never had nothing, never gonna be nothing. Because of all the shenanigans that happens in Nigeria. Y'all remember the sister who went over there, purchased land, started building up her house, but she was traveling back and forth from Nigeria to Chicago to work? And she was going to retire in Nigeria, but every time she went back, people were stealing all the stuff from her house, the grass, the wood from the fences, the material, and everything else. Why in the hell would we want to go over there and deal with that? And if it's so rich in culture and all this other nonsense, why the hell do all of you keep rushing over here? For what? And not just that, if you're so rich in culture, why the hell is the majority of the people that we done been introduced to from Nigeria are either scammers or manipulators? I'm just asking questions. Salute to Yolanda. Thank you for being here, my sister. I'm just asking questions because what you're saying don't make sense. But we're going to get into why what she's saying doesn't make sense and why the Essence Festival in itself doesn't make sense. Family, you remember when I showed the Joloff situation here? And I told you to keep in mind this AT&T. And then when we got to the lies, I told you to also keep an eye on the evolving situation, right? Here's why. Here's why I said put a pin in those. I was able to come across a document from the whole event for the sponsors. And this is the reason why a lot of sponsors pulled out. And the reason why we're seeing a lot of people using certain type of talking points when it comes to shedding foundational Black Americans out of something we created and built. So let's go here, family. AT&T sponsored guardrails. Purpose: To ensure dialogue aligns with AT&T values while allowing inclusive, rich, future-forward cultural conversations. Let's get into it, family. Focus on. We gonna hit this focus on culture and a living, evolving force. Culture as a living, evolving force. So when this broad was sitting there talking about essence is over or just evolving, this is where she's getting that talking point from, which makes me know she was working for the festival. Do focus on culture as a living, evolving force. Okay? Another focus. And it's hard for me to see it because it's behind the arrow, but it says, I'm thinking it says charities, legacy, and storytelling. Inclusion without identity specific language. How do you have an identity specific language, or how you talk about how are you at a foundational Black American event with an identity specific without identity specific language? Tell me. Tradition of innovation, technological impact, framed with curiosity, connection as a tool for amplifying voices, enabling creativity, and fostering communities. Avoid race, gender, or sexuality terms. Negative framing of AI or tech. Critique of institutions. Combative or divisive language. Let's get down here. Say this instead of that. Instead of Black culture is being erased as it is, try how do we carry forward cultural nuances? Instead of saying AI is killing creativity, you say, how is technology reshaping how we create? Instead of saying we're losing our traditions, you say what deserves to evolve or be reimagined. So when I say, and I did the Juneteenth, when I did my broadcast on Juneteenth, when I said if they fund you, they run you. And it's the corporations that's pushing the erasure of foundational Black Americans while using tethers to do it. This is the proof. This is the evidence that everything that I was saying is absolutely factual. Everything that I said about not just Juneteenth, but any type of event put on by these people, but sponsored by the corporate structure, they are pushing erasure of foundational Black Americans, and they're pushing it using tethers. This is the most egregious situation out of it all. Salute GD. Thank you for being here, family. And also salute to SJ. Thank you for being here, family. This is the most egregious of it all. So if you're wondering where they got the idea to do a jambalaya versus Jollof goddamn competition, guess what? AT&T. If you're wondering why they was playing all these Afro beats and Caribbean artists, AT&T. Why nothing went off like it was supposed to go off? AT&T. When I said the corporate structure is one of our biggest enemies, I meant that. And when I say tethers, it's the biggest of the enemies to me outside of white supremacists, I meant that. Because the tethers willingly do these things. They're not tricked. They're not bamboozled or swindled. They're not any of that. They're paid. And they do what they're told. And then also what they in their hearts they truly been wanting to do for the longest. Erase our culture and replace it with theirs. Erase who we are and replace us with them. Get us to leave America so more of them can flood in. This is what Essence Fest has become. This is what these corporations have been pushing. And this is exactly why we don't rock with anybody who ain't a part of the black grassroots. If we want to put on a goddamn event, then a black grassroots will get the money and we'll do it. Salute to Tariq Nasheed. All he had to do is put out a call of action about the reparations of the rally for reparations, and we got the money together. He put up a call to action to speak about the FBA Expo, and we got the money together. We all put out a call to action for our young brother Carmelo Anthony, and we got money together. Rodney Hinton, we put out a call. And we got money together, so much so that, god dang it, they got to reset his books every damn time, every week or so. Because every damn time, we're putting too much money on his books to where, god dang it, they can't even accept anymore. We don't need corporate sponsors or corporate backings. And if we have them, then they need to be playing by our rules and not the other way a goddamn round. That's it. That's all. There shouldn't be any compromise. You want to be a part of this event, you're going to come and be a part of this event as it is. Otherwise, you could take your goddamn money and scurry down the street and try to put on your own event and see how good that does you. Let me be very, very clear on this, family. While people is running around here saying it was everything else, every other reason, this is the reason why a lot of vendors pulled the hell out. And salute to every goddamn foundational Black American and those who wasn't, who pulled out after seeing this paper, these guide rails. Salute to all of them. And salute to the person who posted this. Because all we needed was confirmation and they gave it to us. We already had confirmation because we ain't wrong in these situations. But the Most High is undefeated in a universe like expeditious speed. So guess what? The proof was put on top of the pudding. You didn't have to go digging in the pudding to look for the proof. The proof was set right on top of the pudding. Say, hey, FBA, take a look at your pudding. Now that we've been through and gotten through what Essence Festival isn't and why it isn't how it's supposed to be, let's talk about a little bit about what Essence Festival, or what Essence, we ain't even gonna say festival, just Essence. A little bit of what Essence is. This is Essence. Right here, Vanessa and Julian, mom and daughter dishes on loving ourselves at every age. Right here in the corner, let's make it even bigger. The Black Woman's Guide to Self-Care. Essence has always been about Black women. About Black women in cosmetics, about Black women in their health, about Black women and even financial situations. Now, everything I'm going to show you right now is all before 2018. Okay? Let's go here. I've already shown this one, but we can go back here. This is Oprah. You know Oprah. This is Renee with her fine self. Yabba dabba do. What does it say right here? Your 2017 career Bible. Boss up. Right here on the bottom right here. Oprah and Renee on honoring Henrietta Lacks, the woman history tried to erase. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's go here. Bada bing, bada boom. This is what Essence has always been about. This is Essence. Oh, salute to the ears. Say, here's the truth. Thank you for your Cash App again. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate your contribution as well for the second time. I appreciate you. Thank you. This is what Essence has always been about. Even now, hold up. This is 216, right? 216, or is this 215? 216, because Girls Trip is here. All right. You got this one here. This is what Essence has been about. 217. Beautiful Black women. Beautiful Black women. And this is 218. Right? Can you tell? I want y'all to look at all of these in 218. And then can you pinpoint when Essence was actually purchased out? Here's 218. There is two distinct answers here that tells you exactly when Essence started shifting outside of Black women. Two covers on this screen here. What two covers do you see? That's one. You got Lupita here, the African actress, right? And then right in the middle, you got Laverne from the Orange is the New Black. That's a man, ladies and gentlemen. That is a man who they put on the cover of a Black woman's magazine. This is when it started going downhill, family. This is exactly when it started taking a deep, deep, deep dive. Now, let's look at Essence Festival from 2017, shall we? Salute to Sonia Jenkins, who posted this because I was looking for some clips from Essence before 2020, and it's like they scrubbed the damn internet. It's like they don't want you comparing what Essence used to be to what Essence is supposed to be today.
New Orleans. New Orleans. Essence Fest 2017 just made it to the convention center for the Essence Fest. Let's get this party started.
All right, got a little Halle Berry action. Let's oh, excuse me. Move it a little bit forward here.
So I'm new to it. It's just been a few weeks, and it has been
Got a little Kenya Moore action there. Okay, all right. Let's head over to the Black Bookstore. All right, we're getting some pictures, some photo ops.
They learned here. What's up?
And equality. Got a little John Legend. And guess what? John Legend is talking about the fight that we've had for equality. Oh, you couldn't do that with AT&T there, right?
and equality. And I know we still have to keep fighting for the same things right now.
And I know that we're still fighting for the same things right now. That's something that they wouldn't want you to say with AT&T being a sponsor. We got the Queen Diana Ross in the building. Got Diana Ross on the stage. Come see about me. See about me.
Classic, that part.
Now, this was the girls' trip situation. That was the Essence magazine for the girls' trip.
We got the script, we actually called each other, you know, to see if we were going to do the movie because we hadn't done anything together on screen together.
Yeah, the name of the league. Obviously, he goes to college out here.
I'm running late because I had a full day. But hey, never too late to show up.
What y'all trying to do?
Get it. We can raise the party. Mary J.
Looked a lot more packed than it did this year, right? Okay. One of my favorite artists in the world, our sister Shaka Khan, is on the stage. Oh, you noticed that, huh, my sister? No problems with the sound or anything, right? But the people who come here and work hard, they work hard. They couldn't work hard at getting the sound to be right. That's interesting.
Hey, you all, it's my final day at the Essence Bookstore, at least this year. Back at it again. Essence Bookstore on our way.
You even had Shantae Moore there, I guess. Okay. Look, family, they even threw in a little Shaggy back in 2017. They threw in a little Shaggy. It wasn't me. See, we ain't have problems throwing Caribbeans in there, but it wasn't Caribbean led. It wasn't a situation where it was centered around Caribbeans or Africans. All right, family. So that's what Essence Festival has, or what used to be, and now it didn't gone all the way downhill, family. And I'm not mad at people for being upset, and I'm not mad at people for being the type of people nowadays who understand that there's more erasure of our people and culture being pushed. And so they understand it, and so now they're going and they're telling a lot of these tethers about themselves because we're tired of seeing it. We're tired of seeing us allowing people into our cultures only for them to take everything of the culture and walk away. Or try to inject something that isn't our culture into our culture. We're tired of it. So in closing, I want to play this young lady here in a conversation that she had with some tethers. Now, the prompt here says, why are Africans and Caribbeans immigrants doing better than the native black population? Well, let's get into it.
$2 a day. Because now you ain't gonna have no assistance. Now you ain't got nothing to lie on. We're gonna hold you accountable for what you said. You said you came over here, your grandpa built nothing out of scratch, which was a lie, because I've been living in America my whole life. And I know the lies that y'all come up with talking about my dad, he was getting $8 an hour putting me through school and building up all these homes. Lies, straight up lies. Whole time we digging your background, you done got this grant, you done got this grant, you done got this loan, you done got this loan, all types of lies. Got a zero down payment for a business, on a building, government assistance left and right. But now you're gonna have to hold your own way, Bookie. All that little stuff you've been getting ain't for you. You're not pushing no more. All that's gonna change for you. Getting on these panels and talking all this ish ain't gonna save you, Bookie. In America, what you need to start doing, I don't know, but you ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the F up out of here. And if you do live here and you so-called citizen, well, you ain't gonna be getting no more grants and loans under 14th Amendment of child slavery. You're not getting nothing from us. So therefore, we're done fighting for you. We're not sharing nothing with you because you don't want to pour into our communities. So we ain't gonna pour into your communities much longer. And I hope our celebrities or whoever stop going over there building schools in Wales, because you never hear about their celebrities coming over here doing nothing for our communities. So all that stuff that we've been doing, even my church went out to Africa. Even I know somebody who had free dental care, went out there and gave them free. They have gave nothing. They did exactly what they said they was gonna do. Come over here, get what they can and send it back home and build. No, we're not doing that. And then for you to think that we got it good, we had it good, and we ain't never went through nothing over here. Is you silly? You know nothing about our history, and you think this stuff was handed to us. We fought for this, Bookie. Our people, your people didn't get bit by dogs and on the live streams from the KKK groups. Your people ain't go through none of that. The people marching, getting sprayed down by water hose and all this, disappearing of family members, unaliving, burning down churches, burning down businesses. Your people ain't go through that. Ain't nobody oppress you like that over here. And that's because of who? Us. So don't sit up here and say that everything we getting is a privilege and we just getting it handed to us and we lazy, baby. We fought for this. And you know nothing about our history. Learn black history before you bring your goofy A-word over here. Because we're tired of explaining stuff on panels. You go from panel to panel, we say the same thing to you, then you play stupid, and then you act like everything we just said went out of one ear after the other because you want to sit in the motherfucking comments and laugh like somebody playing with y'all. Well, guess what? You can laugh all you want to, but you ain't gonna be laughing much longer when Trump get done with your ass. You ain't gonna be laughing. And let me tell you this, for all that, we next-ish, we been through it, baby. We know how to fight. We stood here. We ain't fleeing like y'all. We standing 10 toes in this mother. It don't matter what we going through. But I'm gonna tell you this like I told all these mothers. We got 99 problems, and deportation ain't motherfucking one.
Clock that team. Woo! Let's give it up a halo.
We gonna take care of them 99 problems because that's our big problem, and let's leave you on your own, motherfucker, to get on your own shit. Get on your good foot, motherfucker. Take care of your own shit. You ain't got to play these games.
Clock it. Let's get to 45K, you guys. Let's continue to get the hosts and panelists, and let's get to 45K. It's 163 of us in here. Let's try to get to like 45K or something. Yeah. We'll go to Queen. We're gonna just go down the list.
Hey, shout out to that sister. Matter of fact, let's just do this here. God dang it. Because she's absolutely correct, and we're done with it. We're done with seeing all of our culture get displaced and replaced and everything else. This is just ridiculous and it's disrespectful, and we're tired of it. All the shenanigans and chicanery and all the dumb stuff that these folks love to do. We're calling each and every one of them out. We don't have time for the nonsense. None. And as we decide to not spend our dollars with people who move in the way they move, those people are going to have to move back to where they came from. Because you can't survive in America if you can't leech off of foundational Black Americans. And that's why they put each and every different group into our communities when they're brought here, so that they can leech off of foundational Black Americans and to make sure that we can help them gain stable grounds when it comes to them building wealth. We're done with all of that. And all of these folks deserve a foot to the ass. So, family, like I said, when I found out that BET was sold to Viacom, but really was never really fully Black owned in the first place. But when it was sold to Viacom, and Samir Redstone, the Jewish man who owned it, was pushing all this propaganda on BET, I was telling people then, BET is not Black owned. It is Black targeted. Well, Ebony is no longer Black owned, it's Black targeted. In essence, it's no longer Black owned, it's Black targeted. And we're going to have to make sure we're damn certain that we ain't supporting none of these people that support them. We can build new stuff. Salute Aquarius. Thank you. Absolutely. They can keep it. And I'll watch it go into bankruptcy. That's just what it is. All of these folks that are purchasing things that were Black founded and making them into other things, let's have no reservations about letting that shit go to the wayside. Because I have no reservation about letting any of that stuff fall to the wayside. Let it take a deep dive. I'd rather see it die than to see it continue and disrespect our heritage. Our brother Shabazz says, can anybody suggest an alternative to AT&T? I'll be honest with you, family. I got Verizon, so that's just my input on that. But if anybody else got any better options, please let my brother know in the chat. But with that being said, family, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can bop, 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 beat speed up the algorithm, make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click that link in the description, go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations, or you can just hit the link that our sister Aquarius just put into the chat and put your signature on the petition for reparations. And with that being said, family, I'd like to say thank you all for being here today. I'd like to thank everybody in the chat. Thank you to everybody who sent in super chats, and thank you to everybody who sent in Cash App donations, as well as thank you to all of my members. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. And I appreciate each and every one of you lending me a bit of your time. Family, I have no reservations on protecting and gatekeeping our culture, because things like this happens. And while everybody's trying to get us to open up our culture to everybody else, this is what they're trying to do. The same thing that they did with Essence. That's why it's so important that things like Juneteenth and other things that we hold dear to us, that is foundational Black American in its roots, that we keep other people out of it. Because the truth of the matter is, these folks don't have our best intentions at heart. All they want to do is steal. With that being said, family, the doors of the church are now closed. Peace, family.
My grandfather built this country, man. He fought wars for it. And most places he went wouldn't let him sit down and get a cup of coffee. I can't even catch a cab in New York. You know, it doesn't matter how many degrees I get. All you people see is color. Your grandfather was an immigrant. You're American. My grandfather was born here, Duke. And you people still look at me as just another nigga.
I know that the government, whatever, can't stand us black people. He's doing everything in the world to make black man be extinct. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Us black people going to survive. So fuck everybody. I'm out.